Over. Hey, Andy and Jamie, how was today?
Hey Scott, thank you, buddy. Pretty good, pretty good. Not so much if you were just set long in the market, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Hey Jamie.
Hey Andy, what's going on? Yeah, everybody kept anticipating a little redness, and here we have it today.
Yeah, which is a matter of time. You can't keep just stretching and stretching and stretching that rubber. It just starts defying all laws, man. But anyway, we had it. The important thing as a trader is where do we go from here, and we'll talk about that and how you can prepare yourself moving forward. We think it's going to be a great webinar. We're going to set some alerts and things like that. So. Before we do, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This is the Trading Studio. My name is Andy. That's Jamie and Scott, and let's dive in. We are going to first go over the disclaimer here. We are publishers, content publishers. Okay, we are doing this for educational purposes. Okay, nothing should be construed as investment advice. Okay, if that's what you're seeking, please look for somebody with a license like a stockbroker and IRA or RIA, excuse me. But let's dive in and start talking a little more about our support, education, and training here. And this is very important, guys, because we see it all the time in our online chat, in our email, in our support webinar. People do need help, and it is a powerful software, and it's our job to kind of help you get up and going, and we got tons and tons of resources. They start in the trader's room right there. Barry, it's not just a trading room, okay? It's also a place where you can go get help. Now, obviously, the first couple of hours of the day, they're going to be trading a lot, but Barry has open arms for any questions that you might have, and he'll have, obviously, the software up and running, and you can see it, and he can demonstrate it for you. So that's a great resource to go and get some information. Also, we have webinars in the same time slot, 5 Eastern time, Monday through Thursday, where we encourage questions. We do have some content, and we're going to go many times we'll show you the software and demonstrate it and show you what you can do with it, build alerts. So you can get a lot of education and training in these webinars as well. Not to mention, like I said, we encourage the Q&A as well. And then every day at 12 Eastern time, Monday through Friday, okay, we do have a support webinar, and it's just an open forum Q&A where we open up a live stream on YouTube, and questions panels in there, and obviously you can see the screen. So that's probably the best place. Okay, if you do have questions, come to that support webinar. Once again, it's every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time. All right, don't want to forget to talk about the trading simulator. Okay, we have had huge growth here at Trade Ideas recently, and we believe a lot of it is due to the simulator, okay, paper trader, some people want to call it. Because what's great about it is you do not even have to have a broker. You don't even have to have an account with a broker, okay? You can just come on to Trade Ideas. As long as you have a standard subscription, you can use the paper trader. And it's a great little interface that you can fire off trades, whether you're day trading, swing trading, investing, whatever you want to do. No broker connection is required. You do not need to fund an account, okay? And check it out, guys. Trust me, especially you new traders. If you're new to this, you want to get in there and use that simulator for several months, okay? Because trading ain't easy. I'm here to tell you. A lot of people think it is because they've seen the market do nothing but go up, over the last several months. A lot of new money has come in the market because of the pandemic. And I tell you, there can be more days like today. And I know as someone who experienced 2 vicious bear markets, along with Jamie, that when things change, it can get, more difficult. And so you have to, you want to practice. You want to practice your paper trading on days like today to see where you're making your mistakes. All right. Let's go over the agenda for today. We're going to do the market recap. Should be interesting today because of our big sell-off. Talk about, what may happen over the next few days. And then we'll have to go into the Holly recap. Not a lot going on, but Jamie will share some thoughts on that. And then I thought it was a good day today to take a look at some of the stocks off the composite rating that were very, very strong yesterday, and see if we can find some areas where we can set some alerts for strong stocks maybe pulling back to their moving averages or their support. And I believe it was a 19th century French dude that once said, chance favors the prepared mind. And that can apply, even though I think he was a scientist, that can be applied to a lot of things. So it's very true, and especially in trading. So let's be prepared. Let's set some alerts. See if we can't take advantage on some of these stocks that were at the top of the composite rating that now are pulling back pretty viciously, and maybe we can pick up some on the cheap. All right, let's back out, pull up the market SPY here, and let's take a look if I can grab it. Come on now, there we go. Ugly candle. All right, after just a beautiful, nice rising market. Everybody was talking about the market can't do anything but go up, and really just going all the way back since this bottom over here. We've just been a nice trend, higher, 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 higher. Now the trend is not broken. Maybe the 10-period moving average is broken, but there's much more to the market. A lot of people, they think once you have a major break like this, it's all over, and it's not the case at all. There's still very little, bearish technical merits in this chart. Okay, it's still very bullish. And Jamie was pointing out before we came on, look at the tags near anytime we get near, since this breakout at the 1st of July, anytime we get near to this red line down here, and we haven't been near it for a while, but today we got right there by it. It almost touched it. So it's still a very bullish chart. One day does not make a bear market now, but at the same time, you do have to be prepared for more violent action. And the reason I say that, look at this volume bar down here compared to this volume. Now, we've seen this in the past. We saw it over here, and really that was a kind of a closing low until maybe over here. But it's also that's a red bar, but really it was up on the day. The stock finished up, and then here we bounced. So I'm not going to say because we had a huge volume day that this is going to go much lower. This shows you right over here that might not be the case. Okay, we had a big sell-off right there, and really that was kind of the low. We tagged it over here, got probably closed just below it, but then just bounced right off of it from there. So we'll have to see what happens. Time will tell. But let's take a look at what may happen if we do have some more selling, because if we violate this 20 period right here, and this was a very nice little channel right here that we broke out of. Okay, so if we cannot hold that level right here, I anticipate that it could get kind of ugly, and it may come all the way down here to the 50 period moving average, which I don't think would be a bad thing. Okay, it actually be healthy after the run that we had. Obviously, if you're sitting long stocks, whether you're swing trading or investing, you're not going to like the feeling when it happens. But I think overall it could be healthy. It could provide some opportunity in the marketplace, and that's kind of what we're going to look at today. But we know how resilient this market's been. It's very likely we could get some action just like we got over here, where we kind of muddle around for several weeks, kind of up and down and all around, and then really don't go much lower. In other words, we trend maybe sideways again. Could be a possibility. And really, I would not be surprised if tomorrow we didn't just, I would, but I've seen it before, just totally gap up and just take out that high. So any of this could happen, but let's be prepared, okay? Because there was some damage. Anytime you see that kind of volume, there was some damage done today, and you have to keep that in the back of your mind as you are trading the following days. Pretty much the same thing there in the Qs, a much bigger volume bar, I think. So I think that would, yeah, look at this compared to, so really a lot of hard selling in the Qs. Look at this volume over here. Now, boy, that was just massive compared. Remember the SPYs when we looked at them? They were pretty even, but this one, boy, big day right there. I think we got to watch out for this. Wouldn't be surprised if at least we want a date with this 20 period moving average, and then maybe we come back and test this level, right here. Maybe by that time the 50 would be creeping up closer to that. That could be a really good scenario there in the Qs. So, keep your kind of head on a swivel when it comes to market. Look and see what the big boys are doing, especially if you see, a big sell-off in some of the major ones like the Apples, the Facebooks and Googles and things like that, because we know what's going to happen to the market if those things really start to give it up big time. Now, a few of them had a massive sell-off today, so we'll have to keep an eye on them. But, several scenarios to possibly play out. We'll have to see what happens. And Jamie, anything you want to add there?
I would just like to say head on a swivel is the best way. That's a really good description about the upcoming day, tomorrow, right? Got to be prepared for anything.
Yes, especially tomorrow being a Friday going into a 3-day weekend. I wouldn't be surprised to see some more selling tomorrow for sure, but let's just see what happens.
And that is true. Everybody remember, the market is going to be closed on Monday.
Yep, that's right. All right, Jamie. Well, if you want to take it over for a bit, talk about some Holly. There was some decent shorts in there today.
Sure. Started off with a bang. So hopefully everybody has eyes on my screen now.
I got it.
And as far as the traditional things that we typically like to look at, for example, the spreads that often develop between conservative and moderate profit. Needless to say, I'm sorted by moderate. Well, let me do that one more time. Sorting by moderate profit here, and well, the numbers over here are not bigger than the numbers over here. So as far as moderate profit goes, yeah, there are a couple of examples, but they're so minute, not even worth going over. $2 here, $8 there, a buck and change here. So as far as moderate profit goes, there was just, not a whole lot of follow through. The shorts got off to a bang, all right, and we'll just take a look at, for example, PD here. Nice little short, getting started right up here, nice and early, all right. Took a nice little excursion down, but then we can see what it did for the rest of the day. Just kind of meandered around in this little consolidated area right here. But nonetheless, conservative profit, Holly made it through the whole timed exit right here. And if we look at the breakdown short strategy, it's geared up for a 120-minute hold time, as we can see down here. So nothing wrong with that trade whatsoever. However, it was up a lot more in the interim, down at these levels right here. So I went ahead today and I threw out the max profit column, okay? So yeah, we can eyeball the chart right here and go, yeah, we were up considerably more. But when you put the max profit column in there, boom, it quantifies it right there with a number. So not quite what we would call double profit potential in that trade, with just a little, little eyeballing, little trade management about where this thing might stop. Of course, it was a pretty nasty day for PD. All right, came in with a nice big gap down, but then again, that was kind of commonplace for many stocks. We're going to see a lot of duplicate patterns today. So not really any conservative versus moderate spread to talk of. But the other thing that we like to talk about, the trade around, all right? One classic example here, which fit the mold to the T, which was this short NWSM, which unfortunately wasn't technically a stop out in the exit reason. It was a profit save. Holly booked $33 in this one right here. Closing out, entering in this candle here, closing it out in the following candle just before the stop out occurs. Now, we always talk about observe, watch how the stocks behave around the stop area. Does the stop area act like a backstop or a pivot point? Or, if it would have just kept on going and hit these levels, it would have been of no interest. But look how it just came up here, perfectly kissed the stop area. All right. So when you see things like this happen, especially with this little doji type close, upside down doji, that's a pretty good sign that the buyers could not stay in control, especially in lieu of market conditions. So in all essence, second mouse definitely got the cheese on this one. And boy, right after that candle, boom, 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 down, down, down. So that was a really good example of a trade around. And Andy, other than that, you know, we can only talk about what has happened. And as far as Holly goes, some nice trade totals over here based on 100 shares per trade, right? Neo finishing in conservative mode, which is a little odd because it being the more conservative of the trio, usually it is going to do better in moderate mode or maybe even aggressive mode. But that's just a testament to the action of the day. Once we got into the money, it didn't stick around for very long today, and it really doesn't matter if it was a short or a long, as we can see from the finishing totals and moderate versus how much these things were up at any given point in the day. You know, these guys finished with peanuts. This guy right here, ACIA, up, you know, maxed out at 68 bucks, and that was a short. And ACIA is typically a pretty active stock. So a lot of selling, but I think it was mainly in the larger cap stocks today. So we'll just have to see what happens tomorrow. But all in all, decent performance out of Holly, but not a lot of spread between conservative and moderate mode, and only one good example of a trade around today. Everything else just kind of blew through their stops, and it never got back above them. So unless I missed something there, and unless there's something you'd like to add to the Holly critique here, I think that's about it for Holly today.
No, you did it pretty well there, Jamie. There's nothing I need to add. See, we do have a question there, Stephen. See, are the stocks put into the market, or does Trade Ideas send them when they are hit? Well,
so we're talking about the Holly trades.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So you can, that's all set up, okay? When we pull up, I'll just give you a quick peek of Brokerage Plus here, because let's say you're going to automate Holly in paper mode, right? And we come over here and we right click and we edit our long instructions. Everything we put in right here. We tell it what kind of stop loss we want, what type of order we want. So as soon as the signal goes out and that price or that trade is filled, it automatically inserts your stop loss for you. And of course, you can always cancel that stop loss, but it will put that stop loss in for you at the, you know, coinciding with the numbers that you see over here on the charts as well.
Exactly. Well
All
done.
right, Andy, I'm going to pass the football back to you, and you have it, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, guys. So usually I am working with alerts and top lists and trying to build you guys something. But today I really thought it was a great example. I mean, a good day to give an example of what I would like to, what I'm doing currently in this environment in my swing account. I mean, luckily, I'm not bragging. I just been thin and out, and I really didn't have hardly anything coming into the day, which is that's the way I do when markets get at all-time highs. I just get nervous and I take my profits, and you know, sometimes I kick myself because they keep going, but that's okay because I know these snapbacks can be brutal, and especially when they're gapped down like this and they gap and go, it can do some damage. It can do some damage to a swing account as well as a day trading account. So, but I do like when I get this and I'm not in anything. I can't say I'm not in anything. I do have a couple of positions, but I like to start looking for opportunity. And obviously, you can build some alerts to do that. I've shared with you one last week, one where you're finding stocks that are coming down. And, actually, this was probably 2 weeks ago, that we're hitting the 20-period moving average, and then you're playing them as a contrarian move for a bounce. But sometimes I just like to do it manually, just by looking at one of my top lists, finding the strong stocks, and using our price alerts. Price alerts can be great for something to notify you as the opportunity presents itself. So what we're going to do here is this is my composite rating window that you guys, I think I still have that in the, I don't know, I have to look. I think we may have replaced it with Steve's A table, but if it's not in there and you guys want it, just ask me for it, and I will definitely, I'll share it anyway, because I'm not sure if it's in there anymore. But basically what this is just a top list that is ranking the highest scores, okay, using our 17 metrics, mostly technical, but some fundamental. Highest scores of stocks in the four major exchanges. So looks at almost 8,000 stocks and then ranks them according to their score. And you can see here, this is going into yesterday. Okay, what I did is I went and I did a time frame and set historical date, and I put it on 3 p.m., which that's the close of yesterday for me. Okay, this is yesterday, so that would be the close. I'm on Central Time. So this way stocks are frozen in here going back to yesterday. So I know it's when market was at all-time highs, what stocks were strong. So what I want to do is I want to go through here and then look for opportunity. And what we'll do is I'll share these with you guys. We're gonna go through and we're gonna mark some of these up, looking for opportunity, not to chase stocks, but to buy them on weakness. Okay, and you got to be careful because you want to pay attention to what the market's doing. Because if this is the start of something big, you know, like a possible, who knows, maybe a 15% correction. Okay, you may not want to buy them at the place we mark them up, okay, because they could go a lot lower. Okay, so I'm not just throwing these out and giving to you to just say, hey, you want to buy here, because there's too much that goes into swing trading or investing or even obviously day trading than just buying stuff blindly just because it's hitting a level where you like it. Now, if you're an investor and some of these stocks are very strong, you got these NVIDIAs and Facebooks and things like that where you want to buy them regardless and maybe take a half a position, that's a different story. Okay, but if you're like me and you're a swing trader, you want to be right when you buy these things. Okay, so let's just go through and mark some of these up and take a look, and we'll take a look at them together. We'll see which ones we like, which ones we don't like, and then we'll make the ones we like. We're going to make price alerts, and then I'm going to share them with you at the end. All right, so let's start with NVIDIA, which was at the top of the list. And you can see why yesterday. Okay, it was at all-time highs. I'm going to show you some fundamentals that I included in this filter that I should say custom formula that are important. I can't give you the exact values. I can't give away the secret sauce, but I can tell you what's important. Revenue growth is important. Okay. Cash to debt ratio is important. Earnings per share, somewhat important, but not major. Okay. And then I think there's one other I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, those four that I did give you are important. There's one other, but I can't remember it. All right. NVIDIA. This is nice. Okay. So what happened today? It came down, bled through its 10 period. I'm sure a lot of people were probably buying it at this 10 period, but a huge volume. I'm thinking there could be some more here. So maybe this wasn't the day to buy it. And let's mark this up. And I think a really good spot, guys, look at this level right here in NVIDIA. Okay, I'm going to use my horizontal line and look at this great support right here, right? This was resistance, poked through. Now it became support. We may come back there. Of course, this was only like 5 days ago, but still not bad. So I'm thinking maybe this 20 period moving average tomorrow could marry up with the support. So let's set a price alert right there, just so we'll be notified if it does go off. And we're going to do it right. In some of these places, they're not going to be exact. And we're going to change it to long. And bingo, there we got it. It looks pretty good. All right, CrowdStrike. Okay, CrowdStrike, I'm a little bit nervous about this one because it had earnings yesterday post-market, but now, I mean, it held up okay today. I mean, it pretty much a gap down and traded sideways, but man, I'm thinking this one, you know, we may be able to, I can see something like this after earnings breaking down, shaking out everybody below this fast line right here. So let's put it at this level right here. I think this is some nice support right here and could be a nice little alert, which by the time it gets there, maybe this 20 period moving average is sneaking up there and right behind it. So I think that's a pretty good one right there. And we're not going to mark it. Some of these we're just not going to like. And this one right here doesn't look bad. I mean, Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. I think this one right here, you got a nice ledge. Once again, let's mark this up. This is a nice little area of support. Let's just put it right there at the 20 period moving average. So that's the things that I'm looking for trends, okay, trend lines. I'm looking at support lines, and I'm looking for moving averages. Amazon bounced off the 20 today. That was probably the strike. I mean, probably the spot. You know, this big momentum stock like this, you can see the trend here. It goes for a long time, and that's kind of where it bounced today, right at the 20. Look at that trend where it bounced. So I'm not really excited about entertaining this one if it does break this line. Some people might want to, you know, put a level down here maybe, but I'm just not seeing much. I'm gonna leave Amazon alone, but you guys could mark it up if you want to. Reggie actually held up pretty good today. I mean, gosh, I'm gonna leave that alone because really, I don't know. It held. Maybe this is one you set one up here. I'm not gonna do that, but if I was gonna set one, I would just set one at this 3-day high right here because that one held up good. JD, a Chinese internet play. I'm gonna leave that alone. Expedia, I'm not seeing a lot there. It's just not seeing a lot there. Sale bounced off there. If it breaks that low, it could get pretty ugly. Got a gap down here. It's not something I'm crazy about. This one right here, I'm gonna leave alone too, just because I just don't like it. You know, you basically doubled. You know, the price well over doubled. So this one could get, you know, pulled back down into the mid 30s really easy. Baba. Okay, I'm seeing something here. Okay, my eye is seeing this level right here, which is a nice little level. Okay, prior resistance, broke through it, gap and go. Boy, if it comes down anywhere near that and gets near this 20, I would like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right at the 20 and see what happens here, just above it. This is one where if it gets down there and you see it's still doing volume, because it could bleed down to this area, but still, that's an area I would want to be notified right at that 20 period moving average. All right, Jamie, stop me at any time if I have any questions out there.
You are all good, sir.
Thank you, buddy. And I am not seeing anything in that chart right there, so I'm going to probably leave that alone. This one, Live Oak Bank Shares. Wow. Boy, it just got a little bit too ahead of itself. It's a strong stock. Looks like, did they have earnings recently? There was a nice volume bar right here. I'd like to know what happened there. But anyway, I'm going to use this level right here and just mark it up. Maybe the 20 is there by the time it gets down there. I don't want it's kind of too extended. So I think the fast line may be a little bit too close. So I'm just going to use that support level right there. And maybe the 20 will be up there at that time. I'm telling you guys, I'm not seeing anything right there. Could have a gap fill down here. These things right here, you can set them. You can set them and you can forget about them. And maybe sometimes next week or maybe even a week, 2 weeks later, these things will just go off and you'll look at them and say, wow, this is a great little entry. Hibbett Sports, I am surprised to see it's doing so well. Let's just use this level right here. Right there is probably the fast line. I'm going to go ahead and put one right there. If it comes down there. NEO, one of my favorites. This is one of them I'm still in. I bought a little bit today off the 10 period moving average. I still had a little bit of my shares from where this got this breakout, but that one's still holding up. This is one where you could get a swift move down, especially if Tesla keeps selling. It may spill over into this NEO. I like this, and I think it's one that if it breaks, you could scare a lot of people out, and you could get a gift at this level right here. I don't know if I'm putting long on all these, but guys, you know we're all doing long. Maybe if it comes back and tests this high, this was the breakout high, which is real close to its all-time high, was around the 1650 level going back several years ago. So if it comes back, it may want to test that again, and it may be right near that 20-period moving average. I kind of hope it doesn't do that because I'll be sitting in some pain if it does it, but it's okay. I booked some good profits going up. So, all right, not seeing a lot there. Not seeing a lot there. That's an ADR, I believe. I'm not going to mess with that. Chewy. Some ugly volume bar days. Not sure what went on here, but huge volume, but really didn't go anywhere. I'm gonna leave that alone. If you're interested, nah, I'm gonna leave it alone. DHR, nothing there. Could have a gap fill there. I'm gonna leave that alone. Oh, that looks good. Possibly. I mean, looking like there has been some selling up at these levels, some pain today. You do have a 50 period, and what I kind of like is it kind of marries up for this level right here in this 50. So let's just slap one right there, and one to keep your eye on. This looks like some sort of ADR silver stock. I'm not going to mess with that. Costco. I'm not going to mess with that. Nothing there. This is interesting right here. 10 period coming up. Nice momentum stock. I don't have any idea what this is. Decent cash. Revenue growth's not all that great, but still, I like this chart. You've had a nice move selling off the day. You got the 10 period. You can see it's held it very well through these levels. Let's go ahead and put one right at the 10 period. Maybe we get a push down to this level, which would not surprise me, and we could pick it up on the cheap. If not, you know, you could always move it down to this level, but I'd like to know. I'd like to know when it hit that level right there. All right, Humana. Yeah. Skyworks. Semi's got just drilled today. A lot of them. That's just brutal right there. I'm not seeing because it's. I don't want to say the 50 because it almost hit there today. I don't know what you would do with this. No, I'm gonna leave that alone. Another one looks like it's hanging on to a edge of a cliff like Wile E. Coyote. Steve would say. Sometimes when I see something like this, I may put a. I mean, great. I love the support right here. That is just mammoth support. You got the 50 period, so maybe I would slap an alert just in case you get some sort of extreme move in the marketplace, and you can pick it up down here over that support. I'm not always using moving average. You can see it's tried to break the 20 today. So if it breaks it tomorrow, I don't know where else you'd buy it. So I would just pick that level right above that support. See what happens. That's the Qs. We're going to have a lot to share anyway. Google. For those of you guys who are into high dollar, I am seeing something right here. Nice little support area, the 20 period. Let's slap it right there and see what happens. For some of you who are like me and can buy like 2 shares. Graph. I'm not sure. I don't like that stock. Another one, too much damage there. Shop, same thing. Tried to break the 50 today. Not seeing anything there. Looking for the ones that are really holding up like this one. Insurance and brokers. This is not a very sexy one at all, but let's just throw one right there at the 10 period. because it is a strong looking chart there, and it could, you know, it's been holding this. Look at that, bouncing off that 10-period moving average right there. Kind of stuff I look for. Boom, ever since it broke out. So if it does come down to right here, you got a little area of support followed by the 10-period. Synopsis. Now this is one that had, look at this. This is an earnings day. I remember because I was playing around this. I think I just did it in my paper trading account, but nice upward movement, went sideways for days and broke higher, got killed today. Though this is one you might want to throw something in after earnings right down here at the 20. So let's throw a price alert in right there. I would love to see that go off. And that's the kind of, you know, maybe we gap down tomorrow, opens up real ugly. If it does break that, I mean, you do have great resistance right here. Sorry, support. But yeah, I like that. That's a strong chart right there. Nothing there. Best Buy. If you're looking for a deep sell-off, you could throw one. I'm not going to do it, but I would throw one down here at this area of support at this 50-period moving. You know what? I'm going to do it because this could be one of those ones you forget about, and you know, 2 weeks later, a week later, you may get a gift. All right, I got this set for 100. I'm not going to do all that, but we'll definitely get through some more. I think this is a fun exercise. Too much damage there. If it breaks the 50, you know, it's you're falling below all the, you know, major moving averages except for the 200. Lulu's been on a storm lately. No, I'm just not seeing anything there. You know, I see the 20 down there, but it's going to be rising probably too close for me. I'd probably rather get something like this around 350, maybe the rising 50 period, but nothing to really mark up there. Nothing there. Here, that one scares me. I don't know anything about that one. Looks like an ADR. Adobe. Okay, here's your gap fill. It looks, guys, I haven't been looking at earnings date, so make sure this one has an earnings date. Make sure when you look at these that when I share them that you're looking at the earnings date. But I can see this one filling the gap. By that time, the 20 period may be right up there close to it. So let's put something at the gap fill right here in Adobe. Very strong chart. Got pummeled today, but maybe we get some more stuff. That would be a beautiful little entry there. But watch out for earnings. Fizz, National Beverage, looked like they had earnings this morning. Held on pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what you do with that one. You'd almost just have to put it pretty close. Other than that, I'd like to see a little bit level right there. I'm not going to leave that alone. Nothing there. SRG. Great support right here. I know it's an expensive stock, but let's go ahead and mark it up. I'm not always just looking at moving averages. I like to look at area of support, and if it comes down there, I want to see what's happening. Not sure about that one. Monster, ugly day today. Gap fill down here. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave that alone. ADSK, not sloppiness there. Possible 50 there, but nah. Range bound there. Dick's recent earnings. You know, this is, yeah, if it comes down here to this moving average coming up and you got a nice area of support, that's impressive. Let me go ahead and just slap one right there. Okay, so if it does come down and this touches that one, that could be a good area for a bounce in Dick's. Slap one right here just in case. And what I'm doing here, I'm seeing this level of used to be resistance, got through it finally, now it's going to be support. And when it does break again tomorrow and come down, it may be close to this 20 period moving average. Google, already looked at that one. We got a lot to share, so I'm not going to go on very much longer here, but nonetheless, I think this is a great exercise, guys. You can do this, you know, a lot of time. I love to do it after days like today because I know people are coming home. People are nervous. They've been in these trades for a long time. A lot of them, a lot of your investors, okay, the fear enters them. Oh, bad day, man. I better put some stops in here. And they start looking for their stops. And next thing you know, you have a day tomorrow of more ugliness, or Monday, and you can get some of these things you know, for a steal. AMD this thing's been a monster lately. And once again, semis almost 10% there in AMD, just really got clobbered today. So semis you may be able to pick up some of these semis because I think there will be some follow through in those for sure. Nice level here, but you do have the gap fill. Breaking its trend. A lot of times when these things, they break their trend, they can get hit pretty good. Let's set one about right here. I'm thinking this 50 will be rising, and I don't think it's going to make it to the gap. I'm going to put one right here in AMD. Qualcomm. Yeah, I think that one could fall some more. Document. Did we look at that okay? That one would have been a beautiful one today if you caught it this morning. Oh, they had earnings today. Okay. Was that right? Yeah. Boy, they got hit before earnings, didn't they? Sure. All right. About to wind down here. Xilinx was a trade of the week, was doing very well, still in the money, but boy, look how fast, if you don't take those profits, you would have had, I mean, we called this out at like 101 and you got all the way up to 109 some change, so that was almost a 10% move. You got to learn, you got to take profits on some of these guys when you see that. Look what can happen real quickly. Nothing there. Nothing there. Just looking right now, just going through pretty quickly, see if anything jumps out at me. Nah. Some of these charts look like they could have some more bloodshed, and so I think, and let's be honest, a lot of them can have if we get the same kind of sentiment in the market tomorrow as we had today. Not seeing a lot. This may be a gift if it breaks. I mean, if it does, you know, broke the 20, closed below the 20. If it breaks this level, let's mark it right here. A nice little area of support. Not only that, you'll have the rising 50. I think that's a good little area right there. Oh, ugly. I'm gonna use any of these biotechs alone. MasterCard, a lot of selling there. Breaking. Boy, I tell you, Jamie, some of these things broke. Let's start with Facebook. Facebook is kind of at the bottom of this list here. Going to yesterday, bounce today. Let's do this just for giggles here in Facebook. Let's say it breaks that and comes down to this 20-period moving average. That would be real close to, this is what I'm looking at too, is this trend. Look at this trend. Actually, it's not. It's a long ways away from that trend. Let's do another trend. I think it's breaking this one. It's where it bounced today, right at this trend today. So if it breaks that, ooh, I don't know. I'm going to throw one out here, but be careful because it could, let's do a one right at the 20 there in Facebook. But I'm not seeing anything but really but a 20 here. So you got to be careful of that. But anyway. All right, last one, MXM, not just moving sideways. So that's it. We got a lot of alerts to share, guys, and remember, I'm going to share them, and you'll have access to them. Okay, and just remember, guys, these are not just no-brainer jump-ins. You don't want to do that. You want to be, you know, look at the market, what it's doing. You know, is this going to be the start of something big? In other words, because it wouldn't surprise me to have a huge pullback. And if I am buying at something like this, I'm not throwing all my account into it. I'm only buying maybe quarter or a half positions at most. I should say maybe third or something like that. Just, commissions are basically nothing these days, so you can always buy more. So when you're buying like this, don't try to jump all in, in front of the, falling knife with full size. You want to nibble, okay? When you're right, the market turns, you can always buy more. Why do I have Twitter in there? Oh, I think I put that in there today. This is one that I'm kind of keeping an eye on for long. I'm not looking. All right, so wow, we got a lot. So let's go ahead and share all these. And for you guys who are new in here, don't know what's going on, I'm able to share my price alerts, so they'll have access to them. Oh, don't hit delete. And I'll put them in the chat window. And for you guys who may have come in here to learn more about the software, usually we're going into that kind of stuff. I just think today was a good day to give you some ideas, just more so on trading versus our software, on kind of, if you're a swing trader or maybe an investor, good thing to do to look in to pick up take advantage of people coughing up their shares in areas that could be a good level to buying them. So. All right, those are shared, guys. Tell you what, we do have a little bit of time here, so if anybody, you're welcome, Chris. If anybody has any charts they want me to look at real quick, got about a few minutes. We could do that. Otherwise, I could bring Scott in here and we could go ahead and call it a day, and he'll present you with a discount code. Okay, yes, I will. I'll share that. Deposit rating, share. All right, that's the next thing that's in there in the chat window is my composite rating. Will we have a no, not on Monday. It's Labor Day. We'll be taking that off. You're welcome, Jeff. Yeah, so this KCAC was a big mover today and trading up in after hours. What can I say about this? It's I'm definitely not going to say go out and buy it. Huge move. It basically doubled. Great if you were in it or you bought it maybe today and hold on for a little bit. Just, be careful. I don't even know what the news is, but these things can reverse pretty quick, get pretty ugly pretty quick on it. So I need more data, as far as making a call on something like that. So maybe maybe next week I would have a better idea of what I would do with that. Right now it's just parabolic and there's not a whole lot I can say, but if we do get next week, maybe there's a pattern developing where it could be for another explosive move, or maybe even a short. So it's a brand new IPO. Okay, it looked like to me it traded. So I don't know what happened here. I don't know what all this is. Oh, is it an IPO back over here? I guess. Regardless, yeah, it's definitely obviously had some news motoring it higher. So yeah, you need to let something like that, for me, form some sort of a pattern, and that's going to take a few days or maybe even a week or two. All right, guys, it looks like that's it. I'm going to bring in Scott, and he'll walk us out. You guys hang on. He will have a discount code for you.
Right. Thanks, Andy. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, on the way out, just remember we do have a great ebook all about earnings season. Go ahead and grab a copy of that. Also, join our daily support sessions. Go to tradeideas.com/live. You can join that tomorrow. And don't forget on the podcast, we put a new one out periodically. There's already been some great interviews out this year, so go ahead and search for Trade Ideas Podcast wherever you listen to your pods and add us as a subscription. Check out previous episodes, and then you can grab the code SUMMERTIME and save 15% off your first month or year of any subscription or upgrade from standard to premium. You can find Jamie on Twitter at QuantBot. Our Steve Gomez is at Today Trader. There's also at Trade Ideas, and Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook handle to like and share stuff with your friends. info@tradeideas.com is the best email to send all your questions. It goes into our help desk, so you get the help you need as quickly as possible. Thanks, and we're going to have the recording of this up later on tonight or tomorrow, so you'll get an email from GoToWebinar tomorrow with a link to the playlist. All right, thanks, Andy. Thank you, Jamie. Have a good one.
Thanks, everybody. I'll see some of you in the support webinar tomorrow. Otherwise, have a great weekend.